The CBS 12 storm track radar tracking heavy rain right now. A front moving into South Florida with cold air behind it. We have live team coverage on this wet Tuesday, both out on the roads and in the studio.
If you look at the driver's side, he could have been dead.
And this wet weather creating a frightening scene overnight on I-95. The terrifying crash that left a driver and his girlfriend in tears.
Plus, breaking overnight, angry family members protesting Malaysia Air, what the airline is now offering them a day after the company announced their loved ones were dead.
Now, CBS 12 News this morning.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to CBS 12 News this morning. I'm Eric Roby for this very wet Tuesday morning, March 25th.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm Suzanne Boyd. It is 5 a.m. and this morning we are tracking a lot of rain on the storm track radar. In fact, it's going to be with us for much of the morning. We've got a team of meteorologists working around the clock, tracking the rain hour by hour as it moves across our area.
We start with Chris Farrell. And Chris, we should expect a wet morning all morning long, right?
Yeah, boy, it just rained all night long. It's still raining outside. Give yourself extra time wherever you're headed this morning. The rain's going to be around until at least noontime. Here's a look overhead now. This is the clouds and the rain together, and you can see that it is a pouring morning outside just everywhere. Now, CBS 12 storm track radar tracking this rain, and CBS 12 meteorologist Michael Ehrenberg is going to track the showers with you now.
And that's right, Chris. We got the radar showing a little bit of a break from Jupiter south to West Palm, but the rain is going to move back in shortly, like it already has in South County on Gateway Boulevard, Congress, and Spanish River Boulevard in Delray Beach and Boca Raton. That rain has made it northeast back into parts of West Palm Beach and Lake Worth. Further to the north, we see rain has ended for the time being in Port St. Lucie to Hope Sound and Stewart, but we are tracking a new area of rain now across the lake, and look for that to move to the northeast pretty fast. So those of you in Palm City, Stewart, Port St. Lucie, Port Salina, and Jensen Beach, within the next 20 to 30 minutes, rain is heading back in your general direction. A lot of rain out to the west, so we do expect a rainy morning here in South Florida. Meanwhile, here's Michelle checking out your roadways. Michelle?
Thank you, Michael. Weather and traffic together every 10 minutes, 5:02. Continuing our team coverage, I've got my eye on the roadways, about 100 traffic cameras. Yes, they are all wet, at least for now. The good news is we are accident-free. So here's a look at my scanners. No reports of any delays anywhere, so we hope to keep it that way this morning. Everybody's taking it slow and go, which is always a good thing when you have these wet conditions. Here's a live look outside for you. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Even when we're not on air, we're keeping you posted on all angles. This is live outside at Hypoluxo and 95. As you know, ongoing construction there, so slow it down in that area. Eric?
Thanks, Michelle. 5:02, and happening right now, that rain that's coming down as we speak likely will create for a nasty commute for you. Overnight, a car actually got stuck under a semi-truck and was dragged for miles through West Palm Beach. CBS 12's Thomas Forrester is live with more on those rain-slick roads. Incredible story here, Thomas.
It certainly is. Good morning, Eric. We are just heading northbound on 95 right now, just before the Yamato exit, and we must be on the cusp of the rain. It is lightly coming down here, just enough to slick over the roads. Now, as that accident you mentioned yesterday, troopers said it started near Forest Hill Boulevard in West Palm Beach when the driver of the car was speeding, doing about 75 or 80, when he started to hydroplane. The car was all over the road and ended up wedged under a semi-truck. Amazingly, a trooper said during the incident, the guy in the car who was dragged under the semi actually called his mother on his cell phone and told her what was going on. He was going to be dragged down the interstate, perhaps feeling it was his final call. But the good news this morning, Eric, no serious injuries. The driver of the car is okay this morning, as well as the driver of the truck. No word just yet if either of the drivers will be ticketed. But if you're on the roads this morning, try to be very careful on that morning commute. Roads are very slick here on 95. The rain continues to come down here. Give yourself some extra distance between that car in front of you. Reporting live on 95, I'm Thomas Forster, CBS 12 News this morning.
Yeah, Thomas, and as we know, you don't have to be speeding to hydroplane. I hydroplaned a little bit this morning, and I certainly wasn't speeding. So good warning for everyone. Thank you, Thomas.
Exactly.
All right, now some neighborhoods known for flooding on edge this morning as this rain continues to fall. In fact, CBS 12's Ben Becker live in one of those communities, the Sea Pines neighborhood in Lantana. Ben, how's it looking right now?
Not too bad. It just started raining about 15 minutes ago or so. To that point, it hadn't been wet out here at all, at least while we've been here. But here we are at Sea Pines, a little bit of rain on the shrubbery here, not too much. I'll take you over here. I'm going to show you also just a little bit of water here on the ground. Certainly, we're not talking about copious amounts of precipitation at this point. But this neighborhood has been concerned. They've had problems in the past. Back in January, you may recall, they had flooding here. Grates were filled up with water. There was a stink and a stench here. I just talked to one of the neighbors that were just walking to work. He just kind of came strolling by, and I asked him, "Are you concerned today?" He said, "Well, I'll be concerned if it starts raining a lot more." So certainly that's something we may be expecting later today. We'll keep you posted on that. Reporting live from Lantana, Ben Becker, CBS 12 News.
All right, thank you, Ben. And now, if you want weather on the go, and if you want to track this rain in your neighborhood, get our CBS 12 weather app. It is free. It's a great tool. All you need to do is go into your app store and search WPEC space WX. For more information, you can also go to our website, cbs12.com/inside. We've got some more breaking developments just in about the search for that missing Malaysia jetliner. Eric is live with what's next for the families. Eric?
Yeah, some new developments here, Suzanne. 5:05 is the time. The family members of the passengers aboard that missing plane now being offered $5,000 for their loss this morning. This after Malaysia's prime minister announced that the plane crashed in the Indian Ocean and there were no survivors. That conclusion based off of information from satellites. Also new this morning, angry family members are confronting police officers during a protest at the Malaysian embassy in Beijing, China. Protesters say that the government in Malaysia not telling the truth about what really happened with that missing plane. The search for wreckage in the Indian Ocean, meanwhile, off the Australian coast, that has just been suspended for at least the next 24 hours because of bad weather. Now, this is a story that continues to develop, so count on us for continuing coverage. As we continue to get new information, we'll update you both on air and online at CBS12.com. Suzanne?
A little bit closer to home at 5:06 this morning, an investigation is underway after a missing college student was found dead just miles from his Port St. Lucie home. The body of 18-year-old Vlad Kirik was found in a wooded area off of Import Road. Police believe Kirik crashed on his motorcycle and then died from his injuries. Officers say it appears he failed to negotiate the sharp turn before a stop sign and slammed into an oak tree. A man who deputies say drove drunk, killing a woman, will spend the next 13 years behind bars. 33-year-old Mark Camara pleaded guilty to DUI manslaughter for an accident that happened in May of 2013. Deputies say he was driving drunk near Gun Club Road in Haverhill when he ran a red light and slammed into Diana Lennard's car. She died at the scene.
5:07 is the time on this Tuesday morning. The Port St. Lucie teenager sentenced to life in prison for killing his parents with a hammer has now been transferred to a prison in Orlando. This is Tyler Hadley's newest mugshot. Hadley will serve 2 life sentences at the Central Florida Reception Center. Hadley was found guilty last week of killing his parents back in 2011 and throwing a party at the family home with their bodies still inside. Breaking all expectations. Waiting till you hear just how many people have showed up at the new Palm Beach outlets to shop since it opened just about a month ago.
And fewer of us are being audited by the IRS. Why that's happening and the 2 things that will still have agents looking very closely at your tax return.
But the big story this morning continues to be the weather. You're looking live at Hypalexo and 95 and the Storm Track radar. Still a lot of rain to get through this morning. How much rain and the cold air behind it, that's still ahead.
You're watching CBS 12 News this morning, the one to turn to for more local news.